detailed and what's abstract. There has to be some sort of truth for me in it, but at the same time, I think it's much more about the other. If you are writing from this place, then you can sing from this place. I promised myself I was gonna make an album where I was going to finish the thought, finish the song, go all the way until the end. Motomami was minimalist. This is maximalism.
So much to talk to you about this album. Thank you for making this. I don't even know if it's an album.
That's the best.
In the sense that
that's the best compliment that somebody can say, I think.
It's almost like much of a framework for this music that you've made. It's so much deeper than that. But we're in Madrid, and you're causing chaos, and you've launched your album here, and you're running around, getting fined, sitting up with politicians, and doing what you should be doing.
Oh my goodness.
But it looked like you had a lot of fun.
I just wanted to go see los carteles, go see the lights, even go outside. And yeah, but it's a fun moment. It's a beautiful moment, you know, when, okay, now the album is finished finally, and now it's about sharing it. It can be discouraging sometimes how long it takes, but I think it's teaching me patience. Each project is teaching me more patience.
Well, you must have had so much patience to just get through this process of making this album, because there's so much in it.
Yes.
I loved what you said about Leonard Cohen and the idea of finishing a record in the 3 stages. And that area where you can just feel very lost in it.
Yeah.
It's no longer yours. It takes on a life of its own. There must have been many moments during the making of this where it felt that way.
Ooh, yes, because it's been 3 years. So all the things that can happen in 3 years, so many.
Yeah.
But also I love that Leonard is a big inspiration. And I love that he used to say, which I would repeat a lot while I was making the album. He used to say, forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And I think that I wanted the light to get in. And I wanted it to be called Lux, how to make more space for the light to get in.
I love that you refer to light as seen through the cracks, and not necessarily the light that's all around us at all times. Sometimes we shield ourselves from the light, or the light can be too bright. But you're right, the light that cracks in is different, isn't it? It's there's a glimmer of what's available to you that hasn't yet revealed itself.
Yes, the possibility, the outside.
Yeah.
And beyond.
Well, when you're working on music, can you exist in a sort of functional, societal, social way? Or do you need to sort of consciously remove yourself from the normal light side of being a human and a friend? And
yeah, I think I kind of isolate. But at the same time, I listen myself. And if I'm like, okay, it's been maybe a week that I don't see nobody except these friends that I'm working with in the studio, which I consider friends. Dylan, David, which I've been working with for like 6 years at this point. He's an amazing engineer. Elliot, he's became a friend here through this project. So yeah, I feel like I hang a lot in the studio. It's a lot of hanging in the studio, but at the same time, there's a lot of being alone at home. Writing, reading, just 1 year of that.
Yeah.
It was an entire year. I remember guys were like, we need you need to come back to the studio. And I was like, I can't. No, I have to make lyrics. And these lyrics are not good enough. I'm gonna keep working on lyrics. I'm gonna stay here working on lyrics until this is great. And then more music.
when you were touring Motomami, being in this brilliant modern loop that we're all in, which is like album, tour, Lucy, like a song, maybe collaboration.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that. It's like you stopped that hard and just...
Yes, this is what I needed. I feel like I always do projects, find the excuse to study what I want to study and go through what I want to go through, and feel like my heart is needing and it's craving. And in this case, it was reading more, and it was studying more. Equality is just be listening in college, teología. I just wanted to be studying teología, and that's what I kind of tried to just study, learn more about spirituality in a ampliar mis horizontes of what spirituality is, understanding how sainthood is understood and conceived differently depending on the cultures and religions, different religions, and how interesting is that, for example, en el entorno del cristianismo, there's a very specific way of understanding sainthood. But then there's equivalence in other religions. So in Hinduism, there's the rishis, which are these maestros, sabios védicos, and de los Vedas. Después there's, I don't know, the Xian, they are immortals in the Tao. Tzadikim in Judaism. Los amigos de Dios, God's friends, they call it in Islam. Like, they're all around the world. You can find different ways of understanding sainthood. And that was so interesting to me. I was like, okay, wait, there's all these stories about saints. I was trying to pull from like all these crazy, amazing stories from all around the world. I put a mapa mundi in the room and I started reading hagiografias, just reading. And I just tried to like understand where did they come from, which was the language that would be spoken there, what was the story behind. So there was a lot of women like that were extremely interesting to me, that they were nuns, they were poets. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna read about them, I'm gonna read what they actually wrote, I'm gonna try to explain these stories. I think it's important to, while collecting stories about the other, I feel like then making songs inspired in that, like I'm celebrating and giving love to the other, to the otherness, trying to understand the otherness better. It feels like nowadays it's like everything is so divided. And no, I want the opposite. I need the opposite. At least that's how I feel.
This deep curiosity that informs this music, it is a huge part of what is so immersive for us about it. I'm always interested in how artists can move so deeply into quote-unquote conceptual environments, but it has to be about you. It can't just be an essay about the past.
I don't feel like it's about me.
These songs, you don't feel are about you?
I think, though, that it's an album that, fortunately or unfortunately, it will have pieces of me, little pieces of me, but I think the best fiction is the fiction that has this blurry line. There's a blurry line, like the sweet spot between what's personal and what's universal, what's detailed and what's abstract, maybe what's implicit and what is explicit. It's both. And so I think that, yeah, obviously, because I wrote it, there has to be some sort of like truth for me in it, but at the same time, I think it's much more about the other than about myself. Although there's gonna be moments and specific things, journey, for example, Reliquia. Yeah. That has journey, that has about, I've been here and I've been there, but it's inspired in Santa Rosa de Lima, and how sus reliquias are spread around the world. So there was so many like crazy coincidences while I was studying and learning about these stories. Santa Rosalia de Palermo, Hildegard von Bingen, Bimala, there was crazy stories. Santa Olga de Kiev, so many women that were amazing, and that I wanted to kind of in a way channel their stories.
But I love the character studies that you've created on this record, but at the same time, the way that you perform these songs, the emotion that you instill in.
And so there has to be part of you that's unreasonable and resolute. And so, I mean, without that sort of character attribute, you'd give up at the first sort of obstacle. And so, I mean, without that view, there's an odd contradiction in it, and one that's shocking. And of course, it's nerve-wracking because
is it wrenching?
There's an odd contradiction here, which is when you're trying to do something new, and there's a whole list of reasons, well, this will not work. there has to be part of you that's unreasonable and resolute. And so, I mean, without that sort of character attribute, you'd give up at the first sort of obstacle. And so you're resolute and believe this can be done. But at the same time, you're very concerned that is it going to be useful and is it going to improve people's lives? Are people going to like it?
So is that what it is? Whether they will see it as something that improves their life?
Absolutely.
Whether it is to communicate with others or whether it is to monitor their own life?
It can be the smallest thing that you see somebody using a product that you've worked on.
Yeah, what's that like?
And you think that was really worth it because, you know, this costs materially. We make a lot of decisions that have huge personal impacts because this takes a lot of time. And that sense of focus and being that resolute and deciding to ignore very, very smart people who have 7 reasons why this is an ill-conceived idea and probably won't work, to ignore really smart people, I find personally very hard. And so with that sort of focus, when you then see somebody using it and you'll see, you know, across a room and somebody smiles, that makes all the difference. You know, it's you know, we aren't, while we can't second guess people, and so you have to reference yourself while you're developing it, we're very clear that the goal of this is to make products for our customers. I mean, that's why we're doing this. And if our customers don't like the product, then I see that we've failed.
You once said, I think, that people don't understand how practical we are.
I think one of the things that I think characterizes the design process, and I think many creative processes, is that there's this wonderful flipping between broad philosophical discussions and, okay, let's go and try and make this. Doesn't matter how much more, you know, we can talk about this for another week. Let's actually make it and see what happens. And so I think that, and I think that's partly because we are both a hardware and a software company, and we know that building prototypes and trying to represent or experience something that we're working on is unbelievably important. But yeah, I think that we are practical. We you know, the design studio has a big studio where we can sit and draw. It also has a very big workshop where we can go in and make things.
Yeah. Do you create pressure for yourself because you know that there's an iPhone and you feel incumbent to make it better?
I think people deserve us developing something that's truly better. I think there are many products out there that really they're just different. Now, there's a danger as designers, because so much of what you're doing, you're living in the future, and you are, by definition, creating something that doesn't exist yet, as in it's new. But the important thing to remember is that there isn't an inherent value in new. I mean, you and I could go and figure out something in half an hour that would be a new product. Doesn't mean that it has any value and anybody will be interested in it. But there's a danger that there are a lot of products that surround us whose only virtue, and it's I obviously don't believe it's a virtue, is that they're new. What's really hard is to try and do something that's better. And we've tried hard to resist that temptation when we're developing a product or refining a product to, you know, at the end of the day you could say, well, really it's just different or it's just new. And because there is what appears to be sometimes an insatiable appetite for the new, you know, that's, you know, other people can take care of that.
What does perfection mean to you?
Establishes and describes a goal. It's something that I long ago resigned myself to, knowing that I will try and get closer and closer, but it's still that hill that's just, that too far away. But it
A bridge too far?
It really is. It's one of those things, though, that the pursuit of perfection, it shapes you and it configures you and it establishes the things that you think are important. It infuriates you when you think you're getting closer, and you realize that you're not. But I think there are many of us that are driven by trying to make something that's perfect. Something.
6'6"?
Yeah. Ball! Alright, let's do it. You threw a pick six at Colorado?
Pick 6?
Yeah. UIW, Wazoo, and Miami. I was trying to go Miami.
But my pick 6 was like, we're on our own goal line now.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
You was in your goal line.
A pick six is a pick six.
No, you was,
I was
you
like
were
on the
90.
20. I was on the goal line. I was like on the 20.
And he went back 80?
Nah, he went back like 20.
Nah.
Yeah.
He went back
It was the first drive out of the second half.
What route was it?
It was right. Scramble drill. What's up? I'll get that bit back off you.
So you first?
What game?
Cal? That's when the whole world.
Oh, yeah, I seen that one. Yeah, I seen that one.
Right. You're too far. Right there. Let's go. We smooth.
You, Bob, right?
Yep. Rhythm.
It's a hit. What's it? It's just the timing of it. That's good. I like that one. He said gun. Huh?
Gun.
It's a hit. That shit every day. Oh man, snap this ball.
I know, you did sabotage me too.
It's like impossible.
It's like cocaine.
It's like an itch.
Hey, come on, bro.
It's like
Leave that clapping shit. Leave that clapping shit. Go ahead, straight. That clapping shit. Come on.
Ready? Go. So, see how low it is?
Yeah. What you doing, man?
But now, this is more realistic.